Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Shayla and today I have my April book haul for you. There are 19 items in this haul. I did receive 2 from the authors for review and the rest I purchased, and some of them are manga. I think 4 of them are manga, and then I've got a bunch of novels. I'll explain the reasons why I bought some of them and we'll go from there. So I'm going to start with the 2 that I received copies for review. And the first one is Life in the No Dating Zone by Patricia B. Teague, I guess is how you say her name, T-I-G-H-E. This is a book I was sent for review from Swoon Romance and the author, and I received a digital copy of another Swoon Romance book that I really enjoyed. So I'm excited to see how this one goes. I don't know too much about it, but when I receive a review copy, I kind of like to go in blind so I get the full experience. So I'm not going to even really look at the back and tell you what's going on with it. And the next book is Anna by Megan Riley. This is book 1 of the Starseed series. I, again, don't know too much about this. I was sent this by Megan Riley herself, and I am really excited to learn what it's all about and enjoy my read. Again, because it's a review copy, I like to go in blind so I can give you my full and honest opinion and not what I think it should be based on. Alrighty, the rest of the items in this haul I personally purchased, so let's just dig right in because there's a lot of them. The first one is The Readers of Broken Wheel Recommend. I don't remember if I mentioned this in my last haul or not, so I wanted to, because this is another book about books, and you guys know how I feel about that. I really love them, so it was worth another mention. This one's by Katrina Bivold, something like that. I'll write it somewhere for you guys. If not, check out my Instagram account because I have taken pictures of pretty much all of these. A couple of them maybe not, but they'll be up shortly anyway. Next up is a dual, it's a bind up of a book, and this is from the Age, this is called the Age of Dragons series, volume 1, book 1, called Dawn of the Dragon. So this contains Here There Be Dragons and Search for the Red Dragon. I mean, this cover is fantastically stunning, but I'm looking for some really good, fun fantasy reads. The type's actually fairly big in this one for a fantasy, so I want a good dragon book, and I really hope this is it for me. Next up, I picked up volume 2 in the Magic of Kingdom of Landover series, which contains the Tangle Box and Witch's Brew. I am excited to continue on with our fun gang in the Kingdom of Landover and learn what the rest of the story is about. Next up, I have Sweetly by Jackson Pierce. This is another fairy tale retelling. I read Sisters Red last month and immediately had to go out and grab Sweetly. This is a Hansel and Gretel retelling, and I am super excited to read it. Next up, I picked up The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. I am excited to read this Snow White retelling. I think it's going to be a little bit, I think I've kind of burned myself out on retellings for a minute, but I do plan on getting to this relatively soon, especially since it's new. And I haven't really heard anybody talking about it very much, so it makes me a little leery that nobody's really talking about it. So I'm hoping to get to this soon so that I can let you guys know my thoughts. Next up is Starflight by Melissa Landers. This is a sci-fi novel, and I am excited. I'm kind of on a sci-fi kick, and I've heard mixed things about this one. It sounds like another love it or hate it kind of book, and I think I'm going to enjoy it, so I went ahead and picked it up, and I am excited to dig in. These next 2 books go together. These are my neighborhood book club books, and no libraries had them around at all, so I ended up picking them up, and that is Wonder and Auggie and Me by R.J. Palacchio. I don't know how to say the last name, but you know, clearly we start with Wonder, and then this is extra 3 Wonder stories. So the book club is doing both of these, and I'm excited to read them. I've heard they're really good. They're middle grade novels, and I've heard nothing but good things about them. So I do plan on getting to these very, very soon because book club meets on Thursday, but I'm not going to be there Thursday, and then they're doing a second meeting a week later, so I'll be at that one to discuss. Next up is Ignite by Sarah B. Larson. I ended up really enjoying this. I had checked it out from the library, so I picked up a physical copy. I do plan on picking up a physical copy of Endure once it's in a paperback, And until then, I'll just check it out from the library. But I am really enjoying this series. If you haven't given it a try yet, it's the Defy series. I definitely recommend it. Next up, I picked up The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and this was a really lovely book. Not only is it gorgeous, the story within it is equally gorgeous. So if you guys have not heard what The Night Circus is about, The Night Circus it's a circus. You don't know when it's going to come. It shows up at night, and essentially it's where two magicians do battle. And it's a read that was more than I was expecting it to be, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. So I'll be talking more about this in my Authorathon wrap-up. Next up, I picked up The Nest by Cynthia Dupree Sweeney, is how I want to say it. This book is stunningly gorgeous, for one, and two, the story looks really intriguing to me. You know, it's about family dynamics and about 4 children, and I am just excited to read this. I started seeing it all over Instagram because I follow a ton of book accounts, and it was so gorgeous that I went and read the description, and I'm like, okay, I need to read this. And that was shortly after I read Roses, which again is another family dynamic kind of book. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this. The next up is The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. This is a YA novel. I'm not going to call it a fantasy because I don't feel it is. About a countess who ends up basically running away to a finishing school to go to the New World. And I have a review of this. I will leave it linked for you so that you can hear my full thoughts and feels there. The next step is Volume 1 of the Raya Revelations, called Theft and Swords by Michael J. Sullivan. I've heard several booktubers talking about this and talking about his writing, so I finally picked up a copy because this was only $16 at Barnes & Noble, so you're getting 2 books for $8, because again, it's a bind-up like the Dragons book. So I'm excited to dig in and read this very soon. I'm kind of feeling some epic fantasy along with some sci-fi right now, so I'm going to kind of roll with it. The last 4 items I have are all manga, so they'll go really quick. So I have Volume 8 and Volume 9 of Fairy Tail. As you guys know, I'm slowly collecting the volumes of Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail is about a guild of wizards who go on all sorts of adventures and jobs and end up, you know, rescuing things, saving people, or just kicking butt in general. So these are really fun. If you haven't tried out manga and you're a little bit curious, I would go to a bookstore or a library and kind of flip through a few and see what you're kind of feeling. I love the art style in Fairy Tail, but I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. Last but not least, I finally picked up Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Death Note in these beautiful black editions with the black pages. As with most manga, everything inside is black and white, but there are a few colored panels because these are special editions. If you guys don't know what Death Note is about a soul reaper, or a Shirigami, who drops his death note. And a human teenage boy named Light Yagami picks it up and learns that if he writes someone's name in the death note, they die of a heart attack within 6 minutes. And so it's really interesting. It's very much a play on morals and is what Light doing okay because he's killing criminals or not. Like, it's super fantastic. There is an anime on this, and I watched the anime and I loved it, but I'm actually really enjoying the manga as well. I feel like it shows you some different things that the anime didn't, and so I'm really enjoying my read, and it might just be because this is the second time I'm going through, so I'm catching on more. Okay, so 10 minutes later, that is everything. You know, as I do wrap-ups, I will give you guys more details on most of these books. If you have any specific questions about any of them, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.